brothers and sisters, what's up? This is the Reluctant Nabi back again. You see the title, so we about to dig all into this. Alright? And I want to show you this kind of lying bias from fact checkers to fact checkers. Dang, I can't talk today. Alright? So, coming back as the pro, let's go and get in this flow. Alright, so that you know what is going on with the whole show by the Democrats who are just despicable at this point. Alright, and this is not just the political party, but this is the media and everything else. We would say that they had a left-leaning objective, and that is fair to say like the Rachel Maddow show. She is left-leaning unapologetically, and she will get facts. She might twist them to lean left, but she will get what she believes are facts. A lot of times she's misled by the facts, but because she is so sold in by her ideology that she cannot come to or see truth in a lot of things. But what is fair is she is claiming to be unapologetically left-leaning, and she lets you know right off the bat she's going to lean left. Fox commentators are going to lean right. OAN, their commentators are going to lean right. But they do put out real news and real facts from the perspective of leaning right. This is the difference between them and all these fact checkers. Man, why can't I say the word? This is the difference between them and all the fact checkers. Alright, so let me greet everybody real quick before we get started. Gordon Harduku Dog Ola Oi Tibay, Fasa Slows Bonjour Mesmi, Kel Bawani Konichiwa, Nihao Niyama, Sani Bonani, Jumbo Herbaribani, Assalamu alaikum and Shalom. Alright, Kumusta Ka, Kumusta Pukayo, and Talafa Lava Soy Fua to my brother out in the Polynesian islands of Hawaii. Alright, so this is what's going down, what's up. Alright, now before we get started in this, let me remind y'all, because help is needed. If you can, please donate to my channel. Please help us do what we do in the community. My PayPal me and my Cash App will be in the description box. All right. So with that said, y'all already know what to do, and I really don't think it matters. Is because part of the problem has been YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. How they have been blocking, shadow banning, and hiding the truth from everybody to the point where it is causing demise throughout the United States. So they are culpable in this kind of just weird goings on. You know it's bad when they block practicing doctors who are actually healing people. That's right. YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook, well, maybe not Twitter, but YouTube and Facebook blocked practicing doctors who were actually healing people, and they shared the information on how they were healing people when it came to this virus situation. But YouTube and Facebook blocked it. Last I checked, nobody that works on YouTube that's blocking all this content are doctors, nor do they have the right to hide that kind of information from us. But I want you to think about this. They believe that it is their job to think for us. That's the left mentality. You do not get to think for themselves. You do not get to parent your own child. Their beliefs are going to be forced down your throat. And if you don't like it, they will take money from you. They will prevent you from earning a living. You don't believe that? Look at how many people YouTube blocked from being monetized. This is what the left has for you. All right. So first, let's look at this thing here. This is a PolitiFact thing called Axion, a political fact checking site called Axion. This is why we should never trust any of these fact checkers. They are corrupt, and I would say they are biased, but no, this is not a bias. This is straight up lying. And this is what they're doing now. This is what we get. We get a bunch of liars that try to hide what the real truth is because they support a particular agenda. All right. So let's look at what's really going on. All right. And next, let's explain a couple of things too. Trump and his allies have made a barrage of allegations and insinuations. This is what Axion said. Some legitimate, others fabricated, right? About the activities of Joe Biden and his son Hunter in Ukraine. Why it matters? The president's defenders and opponents have used similar set of facts to shape widely different narratives on this issue. As a result, there has been much confusion over whether Trump leading 2020 challenger is being unfairly maligned or has something to answer for. Now, notice this. They come in to defend lies that they believe are told on Joe Biden. Wait a minute, but these aren't lies. We'll get to that in a minute. But notice how these same people will lie on Trump and say that things that are absolutely false are fair game for him when it comes to him. I want y'all to understand this, right? All right, Hunter Biden's work. True. In 2014, Hunter Biden, on the board of Ukraine Energy Company, which he had no references for, he had no business being on it. He knew nothing about what he was doing there, but they paid him. They paid a guy that knew nothing about their business to be there, right? Burisma, that faced allegations of corruption. He was paid as much as $50,000 per month per New York Times. He was paid more than that. Now, you can't consider New York Times a reliable source is because they lied and they have reported lies against Trump, and they have reported lies that should have been truths about the Democratic Party. In each case, they reported lies that would make Trump look bad, and they reported lies that would make Democrats look good. Y'all see what's going on here? All right. Joe Biden's intervention. True, Biden was Obama's administrative point man on Ukraine while his son was working for the business. All right, for Burisma. Joe Biden was the point man while his son was working for the company that he was overseeing, as appointed by Obama, visiting the country several times between 2014 and 2016. True, the vice president did tell Ukraine leaders they had to fire Prosecutor General Viktor Shokin to get $1 billion in U.S. aid, according to a version of the story Biden himself told in 2018. And this PolitiFact would have hid that, or this fact-checking organization would have hid that, because they were hiding it until the right came up with video of Biden admitting as much. But before the right came up with the video, they said that this statement was not true. The same PolitiFact and all these other people, right? Now, false. Biden pushed for Shokin's ouster to protect his son, European countries and international bodies had accused Shokin of failing to pursue corruption, including the Burisma case, and wanted him fired. Biden was also not freelancing for previous reasons. He was pursuing Obama's administration's policies. So this is their bottom line. Bottom line, true Hunter Biden's role in Burisma raised conflict of interest concerns at the time. The State Department claimed in 2014 that there was no conflict, nothing. The younger Biden was noting that the younger Biden was a private citizen. That whose father was the vice president of the damn United States. All right. There is evidence Joe Biden committed corruption. They say this is false. So what they say is false. There is evidence that Joe Biden's committed corruption. Any sort in Ukraine, as Trump alleges. Right? So they're saying that's false. So this website actually Axios will be in the description box. So y'all could go read this for yourself. So y'all could see it. Right? This is why we should never trust these clowns that say they are fact checkers. Right? Pay attention to this. Pay attention.
Democrat presidential candidate and former Vice President Joe Biden finds himself in more hot water this week.
Okay, and this is OAN, right? Now, why do you have to go to OAN if you want to know what's going on? Because CNN, the New York Times, the Washington Post, all the media in the United States will not touch this. About the only two media outlets that will touch this, OAN is basically a conservative online media and maybe Fox, right? Nobody is digging at the truth of everything. But she is a White House correspondent. So this is a legit journalist, newsmaker. Not newsmaker, but news reporter. All right? Pay attention. How she blows a whole torches on fire, incinerates, blasts with a nuclear missile. The arguments just stated as false by Axios, PolitiFacts, the left-leaning media. And here's the thing. I used to like the Rachel Maddow show. All right? I understood that they were leaning left. But now you got a whole population of news organizations that are working on burying what should be news. They no longer care about these news awards. As a matter of fact, they have lost luster because they're giving them to reporters based on politics, not based on the work that's been done. So this should be earth-shattering news, right? Pay attention.
Just confirmed, a Ukrainian court ordered Joe Biden to be formally listed in a criminal case. The crime? The alleged firing of Ukraine's former prosecutor general Viktor Shokin in exchange for dropping an investigation into Joe Biden's son, Hunter Biden, and the company for which he was a board member, Burisma Oil. Shokin formally called for an investigation into his firing back in February of 2020.
Now, remember where this fact-checking thing said that Joe Biden was not under investigation? She is really about to explain what really happened and let y'all understand that Joe Biden was always under investigation.
Claiming the Ukrainian government at the time relieved Shokin of his post in exchange for $1 billion in loan guarantees promised by Biden, a bribe Biden himself admitted to doing.
The prosecutor's not fired. You're not getting the money. Oh, son of a bitch. You're fired.
But at the time Shokin called for this case back in February, the courts listed one of the defendants as an unnamed American, an individual widely understood to be Joe Biden, Obama's Ukraine point man. But Biden was never formally named. Now, the courts have ruled it is improper to conceal Biden's name and that there is sufficient evidence to proceed with an investigation. The ruling cannot be appealed. Another key development in this story is the release of a series of telephone conversations that has garnered major questions.
Okay, so now you understand. For some reason, Biden was always under investigation, but they were asked to hide his name because he was running for office, right? Every time that these Democrats was doing crooked things, they ran for office to avoid being investigated. However, when Trump was running for office, not only did they investigate him thoroughly, but they even made stuff up, framed him using the FBI, the CIA, the Justice Department. They spied on him as an American citizen. See, people don't understand why a whole lot of Afro men are starting to like Trump. We do not like when anybody is bullied. See, it's coming to light that Afro men just want justice for everybody. And would they vote Republican for anybody other than Trump? I doubt it. Because we don't trust the Republicans too. But we see the hit job they did on Trump, and none of us is liking that. It's because this is the same hit job they've been doing on the Afro male for the past 400 plus years.
Andrei Derkach, a member of parliament in Ukraine, in a press conference Tuesday released what he says appear to be voice recordings of then Secretary of State John Kerry, Vice President Joe Biden, and then President of Ukraine Poroshenko, discussing the Burisma case and discussing the removal of Viktor Shokin. Neither Kerry, Biden, nor Poroshenko have affirmed the verity of these recordings. The recordings appear to have been leaked from government officials and whistleblowers, but are currently being verified. Ukrainian President Zelensky stated he anticipates more developments over the course of the summer and says the case could qualify as high treason. Candidate Biden has yet to respond to this latest development. Chanel Rian, One American News, the White House.
Want to see more videos like this? Click on the link below and subscribe to One American News on YouTube. And call your cable provider and kindly demand that One American News is added to your lineup.
I wanted to pause for a moment so that it can all sink in. The lies. The lies that they wanted you to believe, and the truth that they didn't want you to believe. Oh, understand this. This thing may go further to the top than you think. The other thing is, it may not go to the top, but it may sink Biden's ship. Not that his comments aren't already doing that. But guess what doesn't matter? None of this matters to the BL female. You know why? Because they H8 the Afro men. They H8 justice and honesty. But I'll tell you this. While they make up the bulk of the left, a lot of men are pulling away. A lot of Afro men are pulling away. And those that do vote are now going to vote for Trump as a result of all this. Because we hate people being lied on, no matter who they are. Why you think we're leaving the BL females the hell alone? Oh, for all you simps still riding that sinking ship, being led by the BL female, oh, you can stay in that burning house that MLK integrated you in by yourself. Because even he came to some truth, realizing that we were here before anybody else was, and that he regretted integrating us into this burning house. Y'all better understand, you're on your own if you're following the BL female And as she continues to fail, so will you. But for the rest of us, at least while Trump is running, a bunch of brothers are going to be voting for him. I could see it. I don't know what's going to happen when he's not running anymore because we don't trust the Republican Party as much as we don't trust the Democratic Party. At least we know what the Republican Party stand for, while the Democrat parties will smile in your face all the time. They want to take your place and stab you in the back. Backstabbers. Because that's what they are. With that said, I'm out.